locally owned. I'm from Amsterdam, so they can expect good football food, baseball food, pizza, wings, and beer. You know, you can bring your kids in and, you know, they can play pool or play the video games, or they can sit with you and watch TV too, because you got the TVs in every dining room. It's such a place that you can come in with your family and sit down. And again, it's family oriented because it's family owned. When you walk in here, it's like a TV show, Cheers. Everybody knows your name. And you can expect that from in here because everybody knows everybody else.
Section 2 Super Bowl week here on the Sideline Guys at sidelineguys.recordernews.com. Along with Michael Kelly, I'm Adam Schinder. We're brought to you, as we are every week, by our friends at Crystal Ristorante. And here we are, the Amsterdam Rugged Rams, the Fonda Fultonville Braves, still undefeated, still standing, and they're both going to Section 2 Super Bowls.
Right, big weekend ahead after a pretty nice pair of wins for both teams this past week. Impressive wins in those semifinals. I guess starting off with that Amsterdam game, 21-6 winners over Queensberry. To me, watching that one, that was kind of a carbon copy of a game Amsterdam had played earlier this year against Burnt Hills, kind of a similar ebb and flow to that one. I guess, what was it about this one that Amsterdam was able to come out on top again?
I mean, it was the defense. After bending early, as they did again, give up a big 47-yard run to Queensberry's big 6'4" running back, Nick Ketter, on the Spartans' opening possession of the game. But from that point on, the Amsterdam run defense, they bent, but they didn't break. They made big plays when they had to, and it really was exemplified perfectly when Queensberry, down by just a point, 7-6 in the fourth quarter, gets the ball with 11 minutes left, drives down to the Amsterdam 30-yard line 7 minutes later. But the Rams get 3 quick stops, force Queensberry into a 4th and long, incomplete pass, and then Amsterdam scores a quick touchdown. Then Queensberry drives down again, still with a chance to tie the game, but Chris Carbone intercepts a pass, takes it 76 yards for a touchdown, and it's really just a testament to the way this Amsterdam defense has adjusted as they have all year long.
Right, yeah, bend, don't break, like you said. I want to go back kind of to that second score, where it's the 3rd and long play. They elect to go for that pass play to Gio Rodriguez that gets them down, ending up at the 5 after the penalty. We were talking about it right before it happened about should they pass or should they run. I said they're definitely going to run. There's no way they take the chance here. You said you got to go over the top here. I guess you were right. What was it that you thought that made that decision easier for Pat Laverio?
One, I think, was the play call. They knew they had that play call in their pocket. Talking to quarterback Vinny Salkovic after the game, he's like, that's kind of a play that I accidentally called a couple of weeks ago in the Colony game, and it ended up working for a touchdown. They knew they had it in their back pocket, a little wheel route to Gio Rodriguez. He was absolutely wide open. It was really Pat Laverio's confidence in his offensive coordinator, Bob Noto, that he was going to make the right call at the right time.
And I thought, it was an interesting play, too, because Gio Rodriguez, somebody who didn't really touch the ball a lot the other night, I think only 4 touches combined for the entire game. Looking at Brett Stavage, too, just 9 touches. They didn't have a lot of success running the ball, but it's tough to believe that this team has made it to the Super Bowl coming off a week where 2 of their more reliable offensive weapons, 13 combined touches.
Yeah, it's been a little touch and go, really, for the Amsterdam running game at points this year. Just not always able to sustain things against some of those more physical defensive fronts that they faced. Just 28 rushing yards total as a team against Queensberry, although that did include sacks, kneel downs, so a little bit more respectable than that, but still not the most successful rushing game. And you know that this Amsterdam team wants to be able to move the ball more successfully on the ground when they face Burnt Hills this week in the Super Bowl, because what really helped them sustain some drives and just keep the ball out of Queensberry's hands, especially in the first half, this team was very good at converting 3rd and long.
Right, and it was almost kind of tough watching them. It was tough for them to get into a rhythm because Queensberry's run offense, very few possessions in this game for both teams. It seemed like both teams struggled to get into a rhythm because there were so few possessions in this one.
Oh, yeah. I believe Amsterdam only had 6 legitimate possessions before they knelt on the ball twice at the end of the game. When you look at what Queensberry does, and it's a very frustrating offense to play against and to coach against, because they can hit some big plays with their double wing offense, but they are more than content to gain 3 yards on first down, 3 yards on second down, 3 yards on third down, and convert the 4th and 1 and have 16, 17 play drives if they have to. What the Rams were able to do as the game moved on when they needed to, they got the big stop on first down, and they forced the Spartans into some more uncomfortable situations.
Right, and that offense kind of came back to bite Queensberry. We saw it late in that on that second Amsterdam score, where Queensbury had to let Amsterdam score the touchdown because there was only a few minutes left, and Queensbury needed the ball back if they were going to have a chance of going to the other end with their all-rushing attack.
Yeah, it was really a very impressive job by the Amsterdam offense to get the score when they needed to. Queensbury did they just, right after the Gio Rodriguez play, then moved the ball down to the 5-yard line. They basically let Vinny Savkovic go in just because it got them the ball with about 3 minutes left. But that forced Queensbury into an uncomfortable situation. As Pat Laverio told me after the game, he's like, once we had them to a point where they had to throw the ball, we knew they weren't going to come down and score against us.
Right, and moving now to our other game, for a team that usually doesn't struggle to score on offense, the Fountain Braves down 14-0 to Chatham after that first quarter, able to come back, post the 37-14 win to move on to the Super Bowl. Down 14-0. When I talked to them, they said they were undaunted, but they had to be feeling pressure down 14 in that one.
Yeah, it's strange because it was kind of the polar opposite of the game a few weeks ago when they had Chatham down at John G. Boshart Field, when the Braves went up 21-0 by the end of the first quarter and then kind of coasted a little bit toward the end of the game as Chatham was able to just pick up some successful plays, just grind out a few points in the running game as the game wore on. But this time the Braves fell down early, had some problems on special teams, but then their defense, their special teams, and Wally Kowalski really turned things around.
Right, yeah, they get the one touchdown from Kowalski on defense off a recovered fumble on an attempted lateral pass. And then Kevin Twarzik with a big blocked punt, recovers himself to rush it in for the touchdown. But I thought Kowalski offensively was the story for them. This is a year where Fonda has been able to run and pass pretty 50-50. I think it's actually 55-45 rush to the pass exactly for them this year. But this was one where they really leaned on Wally Kowalski to lead them. Over 30 carries, first time he's done that this year. It was kind of the norm last year. Ends up scoring 3 touchdowns with the defensive one included.
Yeah, and his numbers have just gotten more and more impressive every single week. He's gone over 100 yards 7 straight weeks. He only missed it in the first game of the year in the 15-14 win over Watervliet in the mud down at Fonda. Since then, 100 yards or better every week. He's got 1,250 rushing yards this season, which means in only 8 games he's averaging better than 150 yards a game. And he's doing it the way Wally Kowalski does it. He grinds out the tough yards, doesn't always pop that big 40, 50-yard run, but he's going to get you 12, he's going to get you 13, and more importantly, he'll get you 5 when you need 5.
Right, a straight-ahead runner. He's averaging close to 7 yards a carry, though, this year. He's got a great young offensive line in front of him. I was out there in Fonda talking to them today, and they were talking about how, they might be the unheralded group on this Fonda-Fultonville team, but it's a group of underclassmen. There's no seniors on that line, and they've really done a great job this year opening up those holes for Kowalski.
Yeah, I've been very impressed by that line, really on both sides of the ball. Guys like Eric Moyer, Tyler Cranker, Bob Van Alstyne is one of the tackles, Dom Neary at guard. It's been a very good line that's opened up holes when they need to. And considering how much the Braves, not just how that they pass the ball, but at the pace they run their offense, these guys have to be very, very conditioned because they don't come off the field.
Right, and I think the more impressive thing for them maybe isn't necessarily that they're so conditioned for being such big guys. It's that they're not really that big of guys. They're probably one of the smallest lines in Section 2. It speaks more to their toughness, I think, than maybe their conditioning, that they are able to play that line to the level that they do.
Yeah, they're tough and they're smart because they're getting all their calls on the fly.
Right, yeah, all the calls on the fly. There's no huddles for them. There's no breaks. Really great job by them all year.
Yeah, and you got to be impressed by the way the Fonda-Fultonville defense, after going down 14-0 so quickly, they did not let the Chatham Panthers do anything else the rest of that game, going away 37-14.
Right, Chatham, probably one of the best rushing attacks in Section 2. They finished with under 90 yards rushing in the game. Chase Smith had a great year for them. Not really able to do anything, though, from that first quarter on. Much like Amsterdam, bend don't break after that first quarter.
Yeah, so it sets up 2 extremely intriguing Saturday night Super Bowl matchups. Class C, Fonda-Fultonville goes up against the juggernaut Hoosick Falls, ranked 2nd in the state. And then Amsterdam, well, they get their old friends Burnt Hills, Ballston Lake. That one's Saturday at Shenandoah. We'll be back later this week to break both of those down. But until then, for Michael, I'm Adam. We're the Sideline Guys. And we'll see you next time here at SidelineGuys.recordernews.com.